welcome back to more Genealogy the Holy Wars. So last time we beat Chapter 8, which went pretty good. A lot shorter than I thought it would be, but again, it is probably one of the shortest maps in the game. So now it's time to talk Chapter 8 substitutes. Only 2 characters this time, but we do have a couple of events to go over. Our first person is going to be Vival's substitute Arcello, who is also Daisy's brother, obviously. So he is known as the Hitman of Connaught. So yeah, kind of an interesting name, that one. He seems very cold and deadly from his appearance. Because yeah, he doesn't speak that much, he fights a lot, and yeah, of course he's known as the Hitman of Connaught. But actually he has a soft spot for children and protecting the innocent. So yeah, which can be seen as a secret event, and also his cipher card. He also doesn't like nobles that much, initially, because his parents were killed in the crossfire of the Manster-Thracia War, but his perception will change when he meets Seliph and his army. I believe that's when that's when he has his chat with Seliph. Considering that Vival could touch herself, but anyway. So anyway, I guess I can talk about that cipher card now. Like I said, it actually depicts a secret event with him in this map, which I will be sure to cover. And it was done by Matsun. I don't know if they've done anything for heroes, but I do know they've done a decent amount of work for cipher. But anyway, let's talk about Arcello as a unit, because unfortunately though, there isn't much to talk about positive because of his class mainly. But let's try our best. So he has pretty decent base stats, especially for combat, and the secret event does help his combat quite a bit. It's just that, yeah, again, it's his class that really pulls him down, because he's bow locked and also foot locked. So yeah, both not very good things in this game. So, and yeah, unlike Vival, he does have Ufel. So even though the Ufel isn't even that good, that is still like a really big downside, because he doesn't have like some really powerful niche on his side. Of course, yeah, he'll be good with the killer bow, because yeah, he does have pursuit because that's a class skill. He also gets a cost, which is cool, but I kinda wish it was adept. That's probably I prefer adept over a cost for extra attacks, to be honest, especially because a cost doesn't do anything in the arena, because it's just an extra round of combat, which arena you always get extra rounds of combat, so yeah. And yeah, his growth rates aren't too impressive either. They're not terrible, but again, they're nothing too special. He has 9% HP, 40 strength, 5 magic, 10 skill, 20 speed, 60 luck, 30 defense, and 5 res. So yeah, again, kind of a like, yeah, he'll fight well. It's just that, yeah, outside that he can't really do much, because while he can do decent damage, that's really all he can do. And yeah, it's gonna be hard for him to reach action, but at least he can get through the arena somewhat easily on his own, especially if he has a good bow on his side. So I guess there's that. But yeah, if you really want to use a sub-bonia, Dimna's probably better, even though Dimna has an extremely rough start because he doesn't get any good bows until this map, most likely. So yeah. So yeah, like I said, Arcello is probably considered one of the weakest subs, just because, again, he doesn't really bring much to the table because of his class. And yeah, him being basically only good at combat, but I do like his design. I think it looks kind of cool, and yeah, his character too sound pretty interesting too. Daisy and him seem to have pretty interesting characters, which is kind of cool. But anyway, I guess some other things too. Yeah, you have that cipher card which I mentioned, and yeah, like I said, it also references the secret event on this map. I'll be sure to show off what this references when I do. And yeah, he also has an unused portrait in Thracia. I forgot to mention in the last time we talked about the subs, but John had one too in Thracia. Probably because, you know, Finn adopts her, that's probably why. Arcello, not so sure, but then again, Daisy also an unused portrait, so it's probably connected to that somehow. So yeah, like I said, he's a cool character. He sounds like an interesting character. He has a pretty cool design, but other than that, he's not that great as a unit. Just because, yeah, again, his class is not is ill-suited for this game, basically. Although, yeah, like I said, he can fight at least decently well, because he can double pretty reliably, he can kill wyverns for you. Most people can't, but yeah. So yeah, like, and yeah, once you get good bows on him, because yeah, you can get the brave and killer bows on this map for him, he'll do alright, but yeah, considering he starts at 2000 gold, he's definitely gonna need some help. But yeah, like I said though, interesting character, but yeah, like I said, can't really say much good things about him in terms of combat, because yeah, he's very lackluster. So before I keep repeating that, let's go on to the next unit. Our next substitute this time is going to be Hawk, who replaces Sed, obviously, and he's very similar to Sed. He's looking for his missing father. Because he likes to protect people, he decided that he's going to help protect the people of Manchester. And yeah, he can be a bit hard himself sometimes. So yeah, like I said, he's pretty similar to Sed, but then again, Sed's a really cool character, so no problem there, I guess. But yeah, let's talk about Hawk as a unit. And just like Sed, he's like one of the best foot units in the game. Just because, again, his class is amazing. It is Sage, and that means also he gets some really good base stats, especially in magic and speed. He's ridiculously fast. With that lightning tome of his, or light tome, as it's done in my translation, I'm using the Project Naga one. He has 18 AS, and he also has 22 magic attack behind the light tome as well, so yeah. And guess what, he even comes up Pursuit as well as Adept, because of course it's a class skill, so yeah, he's outfitted to do tons of damage with his class. So yeah, again, he's a foot unit though, so he can only reach so much, but then again, it might be worth it to get him on the front lines just because, you know, his combat is some of the best you'll see on a substitute. So if you're doing a substitute run, this guy could come in very clutch. So yeah, kind of like, you know, full City set, I guess, in that regard. And yeah, because of the class, he also has some staff utility too, which is always nice. He can use Physic, he can use Warp, he can use stuff like that. But yeah, considering how I've used like Sed in the past, like I did Claude last time, that's like a slightly stronger version than Hawk. And yeah, he kind of destroyed a lot of enemies, so in theory then that means that Hawk, yeah, he's gonna do a very good job. And yeah, next chapter also gives him a very nice secret event as well, so yeah. Like I said, even though again he suffers from being a foot unit, he's definitely one of the strongest you're gonna get in a substitute run. And yeah, like I said, he can do a lot of things that Sed can, which is nice just because, you know, he fights really well, he has Pursuit, and he comes with a really nice tome. So anyway, let's talk about his growth rates now. 60% HP, 10 strength, 20 magic, 20 skill, 50 speed, 20 luck, 20 defense, and 10 res. His growth rates don't sound very good. I guess, yeah, considering he is a pre-promote, I guess that makes sense. But yeah, like I said, the secret event in the next set though does give him a nice little boost, which is nice. I guess some other things I noticed too about his stats, he does also have a really nice 17 base res, so yeah, you can fight off magic enemies really well as well. And yeah, stars are not going to bother him at all, so that's also pretty nice. And yeah, he's quite accurate too, with 18 skill and light being effective against all of magic types, or weapon trying over all magic types. So yeah, like I said, he seems like a pretty reliable unit in terms of combat, but yeah, him being able to reach combat is the big question because of his foot movement. But hey, he does a 6 movement, which is cool, I guess. And yeah, he can also support units as well, thanks to stars. Of course, he can use Physical Restore. But anyway, let's talk about some funny things about Hawk. There's a funny glitch with his light tome. Basically, at the start of chapter 8, it can be bought in the armory. And yeah, Julia can do that, obviously. So, if you have Julia use it though, and then you recruit Hawk, you may notice that the light tome that Hawk comes with has lost some uses. Well, here's the thing about the light tome. And yeah, this game having a very spaghetti code instance. That light tome is the same light tome, it's just that, yeah, now it's in 2 different places. So like, let's say you use the light tome 10 times with Julia, then it's gonna have 40 uses with Hawk. and if Hawk uses it another 10 times, there's got 30 uses, you know, stuff like that. They basically share a light tone, but there's 2 light tones. It's kind of funny. And yeah, I don't know if there's anything practical you can do that, it's just a funny glitch dialogue. But yeah. And yeah, this doesn't happen with Zed for some reason. It only happens with Hawk, so yeah. That's why I mentioned it now. And yeah, like I said, these are very, very solid, yeah. And yeah, that secret event next up is definitely gonna give him a nice little boost. So yeah, I like this dude. He's a very, very good substitute, and that's nice to see. So, and yeah, I think he can also keep up with some sets too, decently well as well. Of course, the best sets are gonna be better than him, like Luan said and Claude said, but yeah. Other sets though, he'll be able to keep up with them quite well. It's just that, yeah, Zed is also just a really good unit no matter what, considering he has Pursuit and a good class, so yeah. So that's Hawk. I don't really have much else to say about him, so let's talk about the secret events on this map. Time for some secret events. So our first one is kind of in a random sort of map, but yeah, I'll mark it. It's one of the trees near the middle of the map. Yeah, kind of random. But anyway, if you have Linda stand on one of them, then she'll have a conversation with a man called Jake, and well, like, yeah, he's very thankful that Linda came all this way to save him, because yeah, the dude is kind of scared about he wanted to join the army, but he got scared, especially because yeah, he's worried about his love Anna being worried about him too. So yeah. And also, actually, something funny about the conversation too, I noticed he's actually stiff. He says he's stiff around ballistas, which is funny, considering another game. But yeah, I'll go into that a little bit. But yeah, Linda mentions her name, and Jake says it sounds familiar. That's also kind of funny as well. And then you get an amulet, which is basically just res plus 3. So I'm guessing that's some kind of talisman that Jake gives to Linda. But yeah. So yeah, this conversation has like 2 FE1 references basically, because I believe Jake was not an FE3 at all. Because yeah, Jake, he's a unit in FE1. You recruit him by talking to Anna in that map, in one of the houses in the villages, and then Sheeta can talk to Jake and recruit him. And yeah, it's kind of funny, he's a ballistician, and yeah, he said he's stiff around ballista, so that's kind of funny. And also, he mentions that Linda's name sounds familiar. That's because there's a character in FE1, I believe it's also that map too, called Lind. Well, I think she's also sometimes called Linda too. But yeah, she's also a mage. She has like some pretty cool backstory too, but yeah. So yeah, a lot of FE1 references in that conversation though. But anyway, in the tree opposite, a mid can go there and talk to Jake again. And yeah, he says that he's like embarrassed that he needed to be saved again. But yeah, he's thankful to Linda and her brother that they were able to help out. And yeah. And yeah, something kind of also funny too is that when he gets back home, because yeah, he kind of, I think he gave up on the whole join the Liberation Army thing, so yeah, now he just wants to go back home and meet Anna again. And yeah, what's kind of funny about that conversation is that yeah, they want to go ahead and have some kids when he gets back, which is cool, I guess. But yeah, like I said, it's another funny conversation with Jake and a mid, and yeah, it gives you +2 res, which is cool. And yeah, like I said, although yeah, it is very out of the way, so you might want to do this near the end of the map or something. Considering that they both foot units, yeah, that's gonna take a long time to get to. But yeah, like I said, these are some funny, charming conversations. It does make me kind of miss Jake too. Considering that, yeah, he cannot appear in future foreign games anymore because of Anna probably, so yeah. Considering what happened in Awakening. But anyway, enough of the depressing stuff. Let's go on to the next one. So I believe this is the village near Connaught. Again, I'll mark it. This time you need to visit it with a cello. The citizens get scared and run for their lives because, well, he knows the hitman of Connaught. But then this little girl comes along and says that he looks sad. And then the little girl gives a cello some berries that she found in the woods. And this gives him +3 strength. Now this is kind of funny because the girl in this conversation looks like the girl that's in the foreground of his cipher art, which is a very nice little reference. So yeah, and yeah, that's really, and yeah, another kind of interesting note about his son definitely shows that yeah, he has a fondness for little people or little kids. He wants to make sure that they're safe and stuff. Kind of like Faval, who he wanted to protect the orphans, of course. So yeah, our final one. This is actually one I wanted to look into more detail about because the source I was using before didn't have this secret event. It's after you see Kanor, and you need to have Myrn or Mana stand next to Selith, but only if no one's died. Which is kind of random, but yeah. Then they have this really interesting conversation where Mana's basically like scared about what's gonna happen to them because yeah, she's scared of like people dying, and she was also scared about other dark powers being in play because of what happened at Ishtar. But then Selith reassures her that yeah, what they're doing is the right thing because they are saving people from the Empire by liberating them. And yeah, like I said, this is a great conversation, and even adds to Selith's character despite the fact that, you know, Mana's not even a main character, she's a substitute for God's sake. So yeah, like I said, this is a great conversation. I'm glad that I decided to look into more detail at it because it was so good. I recommend having a look at that one. And yeah, after that conversation, Mana gets plus 5 luck, so that's nice, I guess. But anyway, that's it for the secret events in Chapter 8. Yeah, this is going to be a much shorter video, but that's okay. Because yeah, most of the substitute information is very front-loaded in this game, so yeah, that's probably why. Because the next chapter, yeah, we only have one substitute to talk about next map, so yeah. But we do have some funny events, so yeah, I'll be sure to talk about those as well. But yeah. So yeah, onwards to Chapter 9 next. Oh boy, that's going to be a fun one. Like I said, it's a very difficult map because of something we need to do near the start, and hopefully I'll prepare for it very well in the next video because yeah, I need to make my preparations next part, so look forward to that, and I'll see you guys again for that.